We're doing it, people. We're going live.
Here we are.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I think that everyone deserves a little R&R on Friday. People have given me some flack about the name, and you know what? I don't care because I'm here with my colleague, my friend, my fellow ADHD coach, Mr. Ross Loof Burrow, and his name starts with R.
You're about to say Mr. Loff,
No,
Mr.
I was going to say Loss Roof Burrow. That's where I started to say. But no, I'm here with Ross, and his name starts with R. My name starts with R. So we're R and R. So
Yeah.
I would love for you, Ross, to just introduce yourself because I know we've got a couple of people that are joining us right now. I see that we've got, looks like Paul is here. We've got Aaron here. So
What's up, Paul? What's up, Aaron?
tell us about you and what brings you here today, Ross.
What's up? What's up, Paul? What's up,
What's up,
Aaron, and anyone else that's here? My name is Ross Loofborough. I'm an ADHD high performance coach. And man, I'm here because I actually have in recent months partnered up with Ryan. So I'm one of the coaches here at RMC. And dude, I just love working with ADHD adults and helping them understand that they are far from broken. And in fact, once you begin to tame and like harness and truly understand this amazing, unique ADHD brain that we have, it really truly can become your edge. Like this brain can become your secret weapon in the best way. But it doesn't happen by just sheer willpower. And it doesn't happen by trying harder or just a new planner or all the things that you probably have spent years thinking would solve it. It takes something more humble. It takes recognizing that you can't do it on your own. You need allies. You need support. You need the right type of help, the right type of partner, the right type of structure, the right tools. And it really is a lifelong thing, but that's why I'm here. It's because I love doing this work.
And with both of us being coaches specializing in ADHD, we're so excited that you're here. Or if you're watching this recording later on, so glad that you're spending time with us. So my name's Ryan Mayer. I'm host of the More Than ADHD podcast, certified ADHD coach here in tropical Cleveland, Ohio.
Woo!
And really is actually tropical. It's 80 degrees today in Cleveland. And that's not usual for October, to say the least. So
Nice.
today we're going to be talking a little bit about decision paralysis. Has anyone ever
Yeah.
taken 20 minutes to, try to choose maybe what show you want to watch, for example? I know every time we have a family movie night at the Mayer house, that's a struggle. What about you, Ross? When you think decision paralysis, what does this bring up for you?
I love to research the perfect product that's going to solve my problem. Whatever that product is, right? So like recently, I live here in Santa Cruz, California, in the Santa Cruz Mountains, underneath huge trees, lots of redwood trees, and lots of other trees too. But during the winter gets pretty gnarly here. Lots of high wind, rain. We lose power a lot. So I've spent a ridiculous amount of time finding the best solution, the best generator, the best backup power solution for my home. And I've spent an insane amount of hours on that because I want it to be perfect. I want it to be just right. And so that for me is what's coming up when I think of just the decision paralysis is I have a hard time admitting that it's good enough.
Sometimes good is good enough. And, and it's hard for us so many times. I mean, I'm even thinking about last weekend, we were at a wedding and I want to write the perfect wedding card. So it's like these kind of things happen and they
Yeah, and
plague
you're an
us.
amazing doodler. So I want you to create the perfect wedding card.
Well, for example, this
Ryan,
week with our
Ryan, I'd say I think you're a closet doodler because the world needs to understand your doodling superpower.
I agree. And that's why I want to show it off to the world because it attracts me to be able to make things visual. So right now I'm holding up a picture of a magnet because I was talking with my clients this week about what we think about and how much power that has for everyone, but especially those of us with ADHD. So we can always
No.
focus on what's not going right, but we can also focus on what is going right.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
So what's going right, Ross, is that we're going live. We overcame last month's challenges of getting onto the hitting the right buttons and connecting the right switches. Our team at Ryan Mayer Coaching is incredible. So thank you to them for making sure this works, sending out the reminder messages. These are things that Ross and I, not so much. But Ross, let's tell our crowd here what they can expect to learn from their time with us today.
Yeah. So because decision paralysis is such a real it's a real thing, right? And it's easy to trivialize this because everyone is struggling with this more. Everyone, ADHD or not, because we have so many choices. We have more choices today in modern
Hmm,
than any humans have ever had to sift through.
that's a great point.
I mean, you mentioned Netflix. Just think about you want to unload after a big day and then you have to decide what you're actually going to watch. And listen, get real. You don't just have Netflix. You got Netflix and you got Apple TV Plus and you might have HBO and maybe Hulu and maybe Disney Plus if you have kids or maybe just Disney fan, but it's too much. Everyone struggles with this, but as ADHDers, we have always had a ridiculously hard time when it comes to decision paralysis. So that's what we're going to dig in on today. I'm going to share with you guys. We'll get there, but if you stick around, I will give you a framework, a very
Ooh.
simple 2-minute framework that you can roll out in your life today. And I'm telling you, you will immediately benefit from this. Like this will have a very tangible ROI. You're not going to
Okay.
have to wait 30, you don't have to wait 60 days, the amount of time it takes to make a habit. You can try it today and I'm pretty sure you're actually going to go, what actually that was helpful.
All right, so stick with us, team, because
Yes.
you can hear about this. And one example just popped up into my mind about everyday things that cause decision paralysis for me. And one of them, and just let us know in the chat if this is something that you resonate with or it resonates with you, is whenever we go out to eat and there is a menu that's more than like 2 pages.
My God.
I get like I'm a very outgoing person and there's not like I can speak on stage in front of thousands of people and I get less anxiety doing that than I do when it's going around the table and it's almost to me to say what I want and I'm like, "Okay, do I chicken, steak, do I want to be vegetarian? What did I do?" So it many times I have to ask, "Hey, just come back to me. I'm going to take a look at this." But they have one of the magic ingredients of urgency and a deadline because the waitress is not waiter or waitress is not
Yes.
gonna, like, stand there for 20 minutes, you know? You gotta
Yes.
make a decision. Can anyone else relate to that? Just curious.
Put in the chat, drop in the chat what's one decision that you've been putting off this week, or when you're in a restaurant, are you that person? I'm that person. And here, this is also this is a subtle part of the journey
Yeah.
that our clients go on with us when they work with us. Because we're coaches is essentially when someone starts working with us, a lot of times they start from a place of shame, of embarrassment, of frustration, anger, just straight up annoyed and really feeling wronged that they have this brain that's caused so much trouble in their life. What happens when you start working with us in I mean group coaching, one-on-one, like you start noticing, I'm not alone. And you start recognizing as you start learning about your brain that it's not all bad. You got to take the bad with the good. And once you start to have like that balanced perspective on it, you really and let me know what you think, Ryan, but I really think like I've started to just own it more. I'm more comfortable with this is the way I am. I do that every time at restaurants. It annoys my wife every time. It annoys everyone else that goes out to eat with me, but I just own it. Hey, it's me. And I used to be embarrassed about it. Like I used to get self-conscious and now I just laugh at myself. And
Yeah.
I'll even turn to the waiter or waitress and say, "Hey, I really struggle making a decision here because you guys have a lot of delicious things, it looks like.
There we go.
Tell
Like
me,
that.
what would you recommend if
Yes.
you were me and I wasn't coming back to this restaurant? What do I need to have
I
tonight?
love that. So see,
Yeah.
you're embodying it that it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate everybody being active in the chat. We love seeing that. Paul commented in there, only at Cheesecake Factory. And I literally had that typed because I wrote this down in an example to share and I had in parentheses Cheesecake Factory. So totally spot on. But I love this. Molly says, I share the menu with my spouse and let them pick. Aaron says, there's so many scenarios to share. I don't even know which one. And Bob, great veteran move from Bob. He says, yes, I've learned to look at the menu online before I go. Same with Molly. So these are,
Smart.
yeah,
Oh, that's
these
really
are,
smart.
but that would, that would mean we'd think ahead, which that's an
Right,
assumption
right.
that's tough. Well, I want to know, and I think Ross asked this earlier, but what's something you've been putting off this week? And hey, maybe during this call, from the
Yeah,
things that you hear, you might be able to make a decision. So let us know in the chat. We can keep a look at that. I want to
yeah.
talk a little bit about some science. And
Yes, I love the science. Let's go.
so, how many of you struggle having too many tabs open on your computer? Just let us know in the chat. Throw the hand emojis. Yeah, literally when
I'd
we
love someone to put in the chat,
how many
like, come
tabs?
on. Yeah, how many
How many
tabs right
tabs?
now?
I can't even make this up. Before we logged in, but before we went live, we had logged into the studio and it kept firing off this warning that said, Ross has too many tabs of Riverside open. So it was pretty funny. So we can absolutely relate. But this is okay. So we got
I'm
too many
counting
to
my
count.
tabs
We've
right
got
now.
over
I'm counting my
20.
tabs.
Right, count your tabs. But this happens to us. It's not a coincidence. It's because our prefrontal cortex is a little bit more challenged than our neurotypical friends. So I know my computer's been running slowly lately, and the computer between my ears has been running a little slow with a lot of tabs open for my entire life.
I have over 50 tabs open.
Wow. Okay, you heard it here first, folks. So if Ross's connection is just a little bit broken up, that you know why. Well, let's talk about dopamine because we've all heard about it. We've probably heard, the reward chemical. But why I'm so glad we dove in and did some research on this ahead of time is because it's not actually the reward chemical. Anyone know what is it? Ross, you might know this one. So
It's
it
the
go ahead, go.
I mean, dopamine is dopamine is the chemical that literally is required for motivation.
Yes.
Without it, you're not motivated.
So exactly, it's the anticipation of reward and drive to act.
Yeah.
In other words, it's like, "Ooh, that needs to happen," or, "Oh, I would love to do that. I'm gonna go do that now."
Yes.
So we struggle, less dopamine receptors, and because of that, I'm just reading out here some of the things about it. Signals value and priority. Dopamine helps the brain decide what's worth paying attention to and acting on. And that means this matters. Let's go after it. Whereas low dopamine, which is us on almost everything, meh, not
Yes.
urgent. So it fuels the wanting system more than the liking system. So dopamine isn't just about feeling good, it's about the energy and persistence. Persistence. What is that?
Yes.
We're not always so sure what that word means.
Ryan, can
Yeah,
I don't
go.
want you to lose your train of thought, but
No, go ahead. I
just
got it.
think it's really important to add something here. So drop in the
Mm,
chat if you wish you were more consistent
oof.
at something in your life, right? Drop in the chat. Just drop in the chat what that thing is you wish you were more consistent about, or just put the word consistent. But put it in the chat, man. And this is important because, gosh, how often do we hear, Ryan, on our coaching calls, especially in those early calls when we're just getting to know someone and we're
Mhm.
identifying like what are the big reasons that they're here? Like, what are they struggling with the most? I would say issues with consistency has to be one of the top 5 things I probably hear.
I agree. Jody says consistent. What's that? So, and Reagan, I appreciate your vulnerability. He says bedtime, waking up, being early, productive to start the day. These are really, I'm so glad everyone's participating because this is so
Hey,
true.
let me get real, Reagan. Ryan and I actually were talking before this call, and we were reminding each other how important it is to be human.
Mhm.
And so I want to be human with all of you right now and let you know that I had tomorrow is my 20-year high school reunion.
Mhm.
Super exciting. I live down the road from my high school, so I don't have to travel to it. And I love playing host and being DJ. And so I talked to a couple friends who are on the committee and I said, hey, do you guys have like music and a DJ? They're like, no. It's like, I'll do it. And my wife immediately rolled her eyes and she's like, my gosh, great. Now Ross is not going to do anything else he's supposed to do because he's just going to be doing a ridiculous amount of time on building the playlist. So
Mhm.
last night, I'm not even kidding. I hyper focused on building this playlist, y'all. I sat in one spot on the sofa with my computer on my lap for 6
6 hours.
hours
I
straight.
guessed. I guessed. I
6
literally guessed.
hours straight. I was up until 1:30
Yep.
in the morning.
Mhm.
My wife went to bed at about 10:30, 10:45, and she's like, "Hey, you going to bed soon?" And I said, "Um, eventually."
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like, "Don't stay up too late."
Famous last words.
I don't normally go to bed at 1:30 AM. So first of all, that was a poor decision. I'm not beating myself up today,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it's just a great example that, like, that's not what I wanted to do, but I'm okay that it happened because I understand that that just comes with the landscape
Yep.
of having ADHD. Those things are going to occur, and do you beat yourself up? Do you tear yourself down for days, for weeks, for maybe years because of all these events that have happened? Or can you laugh it off and go, and wow. And I woke up this morning, I said to my wife, I said, guess what time I stayed up till last night? She's
Oh,
like, what time? Like 1:30 AM. She's like, Russ. I was like, I know. I was like, I love music. And I really got hyper focused on music last night. And
I've learned to just not even tell Andrea anymore what time I stayed up till. But this is consistent with the science, Ross, because for us, we have a baseline level of dopamine that's so much lower that when we have
yeah,
high interest,
right,
that's the only way that we get high dopamine.
right,
So, like, then we're like, oh, wow, this is what focus is. And we zone in on it. So
right.
it makes total sense.
Hey,
And
Bob shared something
yeah,
and
go ahead.
Ryan, hey, all that, because I was talking for a while. I'll let you maybe answer
Sure.
your perspective. But Bob, I saw left a comment. He said, Russ, help me understand why did you focus on this specific thing instead of something else?
Yep.
So maybe why don't you analyze me, Ryan, just for fun? And why do you think that maybe happened? Just seeing through the lens of all the clients that,
Well,
you've worked
thanks
with.
for tossing this one up because I can knock it out of the park. This one's easy. You love music. You love playing host. We now have the urgency factor because it's this weekend.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. So, like, you had to do it. So now we've got basically all of the ingredients in the recipe that ADHD brains need. So,
Yes.
like, when you started, you weren't like, I'm going to sit in the same spot for 6 hours. You were like, all right, this is the time. I got to get it done. I ran out of time. And then you got so into what you were doing that you lost track. So, Bob, to get back to your question, if it's something we're interested in. So, I heard a really good piece of advice and I get more like data on ADHD brains. Last year, we did some of you, I think, were there at the ADHD coaches retreat. We heard from who's the RSD? Can't think of his name right now, but the main researcher, William Dodson,
There it is.
he told us the difference between an ADHD brain and a neurotypical brain is that we don't have an importance based attention. Like for neurotypical, if something's important, they can flip the switch in their brain. They just do that thing because it's most important. For us, it is 100% interest based. So that's the key and the importance of having someone like an ADHD coach is to help us to get the priorities there and infuse that urgency into it.
Yes.
Um, so
Yes.
so yeah, basically we need to find out ways to have immediate rewards. So these are some of the practical takeaways. For anybody who's just joining us, welcome. Coach Ryan and Coach Ross for a little
Hey,
R&R
hey.
for you. So happy Friday. We're giving you some brain food about your brains. And here's the takeaways. Immediate rewards, you got to have novelty and variety. Bring the urgency in, like I just said. Gamify it if you can. And then there's the one other thing we forgot to say is the meaningful connection. This is important to you because you care about being a good host and having a good experience for the people
Yeah.
at the party.
I mean, I like my wife said something. She's like, "I hope this doesn't take away from you being able to have a good time and connect with old friends and classmates." And it was interesting she said that because like she has a point, but I was like, "Oh no, it's all good. I'm gonna build a playlist and then have my DJ app literally just shuffle, transition the songs and everything." But Ryan, you just brought up something interesting. You said it's meaningful to me because literally it's gonna enhance my own experience.
Mhm.
So it's not even just, "Oh, like, this is a gig and I have to do it," or it's like, "This is a special moment for me, and I get to play a role in how the
Crafting it. Yeah.
experience is actually felt." That's
Yes.
huge.
Because let's be honest, when we hear a banger of a song, that especially if it was, like, hot in the time of high school, I'm imagining
"It's
you probably threw
getting
in some
hot in
throwbacks.
here."
Yes. Yeah, let's
I
go.
want the next line.
So drop all of your comments in the
Right.
chat. No, so anyways, um, there's good news about this though, is that Ross is coming to you today with a tool that we can use to help with this paralysis that we get into.
Yeah.
And just make sure you remember this is not because of a lack of intelligence. It's just that we get easily overloaded. So anyway, go ahead.
Go ahead, like, you want me to go ahead and jump in the framework?
Well, also, yeah, no, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah. I also want what I was going to say is could you go ahead and if you see the question from Reagan, what are your thoughts on the dopamine detox? I don't know if you saw that in there. Are you familiar with this?
What are my thoughts on the dopamine detox? So I've used that term before. I think people are using that to distinguish a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Reagan, maybe you could tell us a little more about what you mean
Yeah.
by
What
the
does it mean to
dopamine
you?
detox. Maybe
Yeah,
there's a certain thing you came across.
totally. But
What does that
yeah,
mean to you, Ryan? I'm eager to
so
know.
I think it mean like from what I've heard, it's like you cut out all of the things that you would normally go to for dopamine. So if like you find
Right.
yourself like doom scrolling all the time, for example, like just removing all the things that are your go-to for unhealthy dopamine.
Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
I mean, so that's what it means to me, but I don't know if that's
Okay.
where he's going with it.
Hey, all right. We need a little more human, a little more real. Put in the chat, what's the top dopamine? I was trying to come up with a clever way to describe it, but just put in the top thing. If you went on a dopamine detox and drop in the chat, what is that thing that your life would dramatically improve?
Love that.
What is it? So Ryan, we want to hear from you and they want to hear from me. Like, let's go ahead and start by being honest. What's yours?
Well, 100% it is social media because I know that if I go on there, it's going to be a very slippery slope. So that's why I've had to set up boundaries for myself where after before 8 and after 8, I don't engage in social media. Because normally if it's after 8 o'clock, that means I'm tired and I'm low on my decision making. Like my brain battery is drained. So I'm much more likely to get sucked in. And then I don't do it before 8 o'clock because I've burned myself so many times where it's like I've got plenty of time to shower and prioritize my day and all of a sudden it's like poof, 2 hours went by and it's like, wait, no, I have a call that starts in 7 minutes. I haven't even showered. So
Right.
that's for sure.
Yeah. Mine would be, and this just came to me. I don't hear anyone say this, and no one may be expecting this, but mine would be AI. I really need, and not a total detox, because like it's AI is like water, at least for me these days, and I can't just be like, oh, I'm just not going to drink water. I just like water too much. No, no. Setting healthy boundaries would be really important because man, AI never sleeps. AI is like the friend. It's like the friend who, if there was someone in your life who would just listen to you share and just talk out loud with forever, and they never had to sleep and they never got bored, you probably would just talk to them forever, especially if they responded to you in these really brilliant ways and just got to know you better and better. Well, that's where I get trapped with AI is I keep wanting to ask more. I'm like, oh, like, and it responds and it gives you another idea of like, oh, I want to ask it about this. And I can quickly just
If you would have
fall
asked
off the
me what's yours,
path.
I could have pegged that one. Could have pegged that one. Well, yeah, let's let's switch gears, Ross. And while people
Yeah.
are sharing, because I'm not seeing many in the chat yet, so go ahead and put it out there. What's your dopamine trap? We would love to know, uh, Ross, what is this framework that you were talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
Because we're halfway in, so I want to make sure we can
Great.
give our audience this tangible takeaway.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to give you the 2 minute decision framework. And basically this is the promise. Like this is going to help you cut through the analysis paralysis so you can make more confident choices. So you can say more often, this choice is good enough and I'm moving forward without the shame spiral, without the doubt and the worry. Does that sound good? Put in the chat if you're like, that sounds great. All right, come on. I want to hear it. So it's not about being perfect. Like we're going to help you build some momentum. So here we go. So grab a pen and paper if you've got it, or if you're more like me, open up the notes app on your computer or your device, right? Just get ready to take some notes. I'll give you a moment to do that because you're going to want
I thought you were gonna
to
say
capture
grab your nearest AI.
or that. All right. So first thing, you're going to write down the exact choice that you're facing. So this is step one. You're going to name the decision. So step one, write that down. Name the decision, and you're going to write down the exact choice that you're facing. And Ryan, I want you to do this too.
No, I,
Okay, and or you're probably going to doodle it out, which is cool too. So be specific, right? Don't put like I need to get organized, right? But something like do I respond? Do I respond to this email now or after lunch? All right. So go ahead right now, not later. Write down one decision you've been avoiding, big or small. Just pick one and go. Specific is terrific. I thought at first I glanced and I thought that said specific is terrible. And I was like, oh,
mhm.
wow. But no, specific is terrific. That's even better. Okay. If you've got it down, put it in the chat. I need to know. I got the choice I'm facing, the exact decision I'm trying to make. Put it in the chat. Say ready.
Are you seeing? I put in there step one, but I'm not seeing it come up. Are you seeing it in the chat? Because I'm not seeing it.
No, I think, yeah. And
Hmm.
I think maybe I'm only seeing
Oh,
things.
Okay, Bob saw it. All right, cool. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah, for some reason it's not
I
showing on
think
my screen.
I'm only seeing things in the chat that you like share with me or something. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Great. People also just tell me if people are great. Bob, Bob speaks for everyone. Perfect. Thank you, Bob. Okay. So step two, set a 2 minute timer. Step two, set a 2 minute timer. So literally right now on your phone, you can ask that special friend, Siri, whoever, to set the timer for you if you want. Oh gosh.
Oh,
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't? Did
I
you
know.
just
I
do it?
thought she was going to start talking to me.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So set the timer for 2 minutes. Ryan, you might be wondering, why does this work?
I am.
Because
I am wondering.
it gives your brain permission to work quickly, right? You're creating the urgency. So it's reducing that perfectionism pressure that I recently was feeling when I was trying to find the perfect backup power solution for my home. You're not trying to make the perfect decision in 2 minutes. You're just trying to evaluate it quickly. And again, good enough. And so for us, like, man, urgency and then the boundaries, like the constraint, like it really actually helps us get moving and focus. Okay, so step three. Step three is the heart of all this. You need to ask 3 ADHD safe questions. So, first question is, what's the simplest next step? Write that down. Question one, what's the simplest next step? So break the decision down into the smallest possible action. Like I'm talking absurdly small, ridiculously small, so small that you go, oh, come on. Like if I was sitting there and you said something to me, I'd probably say no smaller. You'd be like, come on, like I'm a grown man, I'm a grown woman. What do you mean? It's important because again, specific is terrific. So if you're having trouble right now, that let's say it was an email, that email decision example I gave, like the simplest next step might be just reply with, got it, will respond by Friday. That's it. Oh my gosh. You don't need to actually give them the
The answer.
amazing response, the answer they need. You can just give them a answer. Hey, got it. I'll get back to. I'll get this to you. There's
Oh,
my timer. Siri did it. She's so good. So good. Oh my gosh.
that's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. So yeah. Sorry that really threw me off there for
No,
a second.
that's okay. You're good.
So
No,
you're
what's
not
this?
writing. You're
So the
not
first
writing the full email.
The first
You're just
question is, what's the simplest first step? What's our second question to ask?
so yeah, the first question was what's the simplest next step? Oh, just you're not writing the full email, you're just acknowledging it, right? Keep it simple. Give yourself the gift of simple. And two, will this matter a week from now? Write that down. Will this matter a week from now? This is gold for bringing down the anxiety. Like most decisions, seriously, the vast majority are not as high stakes as we allow ourselves to feel like they are in the moment. Would you agree, Ryan?
Absolutely, because they feel like an emergency when really
Yes. So if it's not going to matter in 7 days, give yourself permission to be beautifully imperfect. Beautifully imperfect. I said something to Ryan this morning because we were talking and we were being real with each other about tough stuff that we're facing in our own life and stuff that makes us feel discouraged and makes us feel like we should be further along in different ways. One of the things that we were both agreeing on is the fact that uh, we live today in an age where it's so easy to appear to the world, to your friends, to really anyone you want. You can put on a front like you have it all together, like you've got it all figured out. And most people appear to be in that camp. The truth is, nobody's got it all figured out. Everybody's operating from beautifully imperfect. So I just had to say that. So give yourself the permission to be imperfect. So pick something and move on. Question 3, what feels most energy conserving or energizing right now? So what feels most energy conserving or energizing for you right now? And this is where you get to honor your natural ADHD like desires and like the things that actually get your ADHD moving, right? Neurotypical productivity advice would say things like, do the hardest thing first. But with ADHD brains, like maybe you need to do what you have energy for right now. Maybe you need to do what actually has you mildly excited to do right now. Like maybe that's the easy thing. Maybe that's the exciting thing. Okay, so you've answered those 3 questions. Step 4, permission to move forward. So if you're still stuck after those 2 minutes, so write that down. Step 4, permission to move forward. And if you're still stuck after those 2 minutes, pick the lowest risk option. Or honestly, some of you are gonna laugh, just flip a coin. Just flip a coin. Seriously. I mean, gamify, right? That's gamifying it. Dude, flip a coin. Wow, I can't believe I'm admitting this right now. I bought my first Labubu. Have you
I
guys
don't.
heard about these?
I literally don't even know what that is.
Okay. Put in the chat if you've heard about Labubus.
Yeah, what's little
If you
like?
have, so it's the hottest thing on the playground at school. I'm obviously not on the playground at school, but so Labubus, it's a craze. It's like Beanie Babies, but it's what's happening now. And the whole thing is it's a blind box. So you purchase a blind box. You don't know which one you're going to get. So it came in the mail the other day. And I just wanted to experience this because I knew this was like an ADHDer's dream. Here's the box in front of me. It's like flipping a coin. If you're like, why is he talking about Labubus? It's like flipping a coin. And it's in front of me. I don't know what's going to be inside. I don't know which Labubu. Is it going to be the green one, the purple one, the blue one? I don't know. I open it and then it's revealed which one. I got green grape. It's a green Labubu. It's so freaking cute. My wife said, Ross, what man out there owns a Labubu? I'm like, I don't know, but I might be the first. Anyway, but it was fun because I didn't know what was going to happen. And it was, I can see how it's addicting. So flip the coin. Let that be your addiction, not buying Labubus. Anyway, I know you're like, wow.
No, I love it. It's like so ADHD. You can't even make this up.
But here's the important thing. We flipped the coin. I talked a lot about Labubus because any action beats staying frozen. Can you put in the chat if you agree? Write that in the chat if you're like, amen. Any action beats staying frozen. Like you're going to learn from the outcome either way. And like we said, if it doesn't matter in a week, then who cares?
Yeah.
I'm preaching to myself right now, just so you know, because I struggle with these things all the time. So here's the reframe. I want you to say to yourself, I'm not making a perfect choice. I'm building momentum. So write that down.
I'm not making a perfect choice. I'm building
not
momentum.
Making a perfect choice. I'm building momentum. And man, are we great. We are so great at hearing from the world that I talked with a with a client yesterday. He's about to be a client. He doesn't know it yet. And he can't stand that everyone in his life tells him he's brilliant. Everyone tells him, dude, you're brilliant. Like, you're so good at everything. But he doesn't see it. He's like, it really ticks me off. People keep saying that because I don't think that's true. Maybe that's partly because we desire perfection so much that we don't create momentum. And without momentum, you can't find progress. You can't finish things. You can't actually get to the end of anything you desire, the finish line of anything that matters, and actually celebrate and actually start to take those wins in and feel it. So when people say, you're incredible, you're remarkable, do you know how amazing you are? Maybe if you start building some momentum, you'll be able to go, yeah, I feel that. Dang, I have goosebumps. Holy smokes.
Woo!
All right, before we get to step 5, Ryan, do you have any thoughts you want to share?
I
Anything?
do.
Yeah.
I'm so inspired by this that I was taking action right now. So the decision was, so I'm very honored that I'm part of this Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program.
Yes, you
And
are.
my homework was to get together some financial statements because when we all get together for the next class, we're going to do that. Well, 15 minutes from now, right at the end of our webinar, I'm hopping over to a call with our outside bookkeeper. And all week long, I've been trying to like do it perfectly of send the email to be like, hey, here's the things that I need. And so I was inspired by our formula and I found the picture I took of the board that said what I needed. And I just texted it to her and said, during our call, I need to get these documents. So boom.
Yes. Oh, I love it. So
Yeah.
good.
So what I think it works because I just did it.
Woo, man.
Thank you, Bob.
Put a fire emoji or something in the chat if you are like,
Bob gave me the
yes,
strength. I love it.
feeling it.
Thank you.
So thanks for sharing, Ryan. And that I'm really enjoying this because like we are practicing what we were just preaching to ourselves before we got on the webinar. Literally, Ryan and I were preaching to each other how powerful it is to be real with people, how meaningful it is to be honest and vulnerable and open. And I hope you can feel that that's what's happening here. What Ryan was totally raw and real. He went through this with you. He just shared with you what it did for him. I admitted that I bought a Labubu for myself, and I think it's cute, and it's sitting next to my bed right now, and his name's Green Grape. I know.
I wish you would have brought that with you so we could have.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's right. That's fine.
Oh my gosh, I should have.
Well, and I asked in the chat because I would love to know what did everybody else work on. So
Yes.
Ross talked about what he did. I talked about what I did. The one that was a close second of what I was thinking about doing is tidying my office because I know there's people out there who relate to me right now. But I look around and I'm like, dude, how can you let your office get like this? I've got pens everywhere. I've got colored pencils. You know, I'm a doodler. I'm open about that.
Yeah.
I've got mail. I've got boxes of stuff from earlier this week. And that's going to be something that my next 2-minute drill, which is what I like to call this little framework.
2-minute drill. Yes.
The 2-minute drill.
I like
2-minute drill, baby. Because you just drill right into it and start going. 2 minutes. So like I could take 2 minutes and just start cleaning stuff up and it would feel really good.
Yes.
So I'm curious what others been working on. Go ahead.
So put in the chat what's coming up for you. But step 5 is gentle reframe for rumination. Gentle reframe for rumination. Because we know what's going to happen. We do. You know what's going to happen. You're going to make the decision. Maybe you just made it. And after this webinar is over, the doubt's going to creep back in. I know you're nodding your head. I know maybe your head's going down. You're like, dang it. I thought this would change everything.
What if it could? Or what if it doesn't have to be perfect? And what if you could change just something small?
What you say is you tell yourself, any action is better than staying frozen. This is how I learn
tabs are coming back.
What
I gotta
works
take a picture.
for me.
I'm going to take a picture.
So I'm going to say that again.
Make fun of them later.
What you say to yourself when you're like, oh gosh, I made this decision.
You can't make this up, people.
Do it.
See, we said
whatever,
no one likes to be frozen.
Say to yourself,
that is
any action is better
That's
than
a great.
staying
Look at how
frozen.
genuine he is.
This
Bob,
is
I'm glad
how
we're
I
cracking you
learn
up.
what
This is
works
so
for
funny.
me. You're not failing.
So, all right,
You're
just
experimenting.
Ross, got kicked out.
And
He got
that's
frozen
how
out
you
of here.
start to
That's fine.
build the
Here's what I want to know.
self-trust
What was everybody
back.
else working on?
Like that person I was talking to
And again, we're
yesterday who's
getting
about to
used
become a
to the
client of
chat and the
ours.
platform. So I think if you share, like I see Bob laughing, I see Molly saying he's frozen. But did you actually try this out, the 2-minute drill? If so, what was it? And I want to celebrate some wins because remember, done is better than perfect. Okay, good. The honest answer was you're unloading the dishwasher. Perfect. That's seriously a perfect one because there's been a bunch of days where I say, all right, yeah, I got to unload the dishwasher. But in our minds, even something that straightforward, it just seems like a lot. Like, I'll get to it. You have a spare bedroom that is a total cluster. Totally. I hear you, Bob, on that one. And were you able to do anything with it? I don't know if you were working on it during the 2-minute drill, but I'm wondering, Bob, for you, for the bedroom that is a total cluster, what would be one small step you could take with it? Because sometimes I think just putting it out there. Okay, I love the 2-minute drill. So what will it be that you can commit the smallest action to that clutter room? All right, so I'm just going to start with a little bit of the recap. But again, if you have wins to share, because I'm so proud that Molly said that she was making progress on the dishwasher. If anybody else had other things that they made progress on, please let us know so we can celebrate with you. But let's kind of, I would be curious to know what your takeaways are. What are your takeaways from this? Okay, empty stuff off the bed first. Good. Nice job, Bob. Ross Loofborough coming to you live. Go ahead.
Stop.
You're just gone. I'm still in here with everybody. You got frozen and then I got you live right now on the speaker. Say hi to everyone.
Okay, great. I'm gonna call you back with my better microphone. Okay, thanks a second.
Bye. Talk about just being real. Something happened with Ross's internet, I guess. I don't know, but that's okay. Thank you, Bob. So I'm hoping that you can see that it's these little I've loved this phrase that little hinges swing big doors. What does that mean? A huge door, if they have metal hinges, they can swing that huge door. And it can be that same thing with you. So, for example, for Bob saying that there's that room that's a total cluster, that seems like a big door to push open. But if you can put it on the hinge that is the 2-minute drill, you can take a lot of swings and make a lot of progress. We talked about the science. So I'm hoping that this allows all of us, myself included, to just be a little bit gentler on ourselves because, sorry, I just got a text back from my bookkeeper. So I got distracted because I'm waiting for Ross to reply back. How funny is that? I'm going to say, she said for 2025, 2023, 2024, 2025, please. See, there we go. I'm doing it in the middle of a live webinar. Talk about real. Now I have another call coming in. Not going to answer it. Yeah, Reagan. It's like looking in a mirror. Exactly. It's like you're my mirror. Your mirror staring back at you. All right, let's talk about what we can do next. Oh, first, let me finish talking about the science. It's not your fault. This is just how your brain is. So I know we're always hard on ourselves, but we just have to acknowledge that this is what's happening and that our brains are different. And so to be able to break through, I talk about this with clients all the time, that in order to break through and make progress, we have to be okay lowering our standards. Like if you're in sales, you might not be able to make 300 calls in a day or 300 calls in a week. All right, Ross is calling. Here we go. Okay, welcome back to the R&R webinar. We're welcoming Ross Loofborough here.
Wow, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened, but here I am.
Well, can
I was really,
you join back
I
in?
mean,
Can you join it or no?
I tried joining it.
Well, that's okay. We're good. We only have 5 minutes left, so let's not worry about it. And
Right.
just go ahead and pick up where you left off.
Where did I I was really on a, so did
Yeah,
you guys hear me say
green grapes? No, I'm just.
so the last things I was saying was any action is better than staying frozen.
Yeah.
This is how I learn what works for me. You're not failing, you're experimenting. And that's how you build self-trust back. You heard that?
Yeah. Well, I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Anyway, hey, man, woo, talk about being human. We're having technical difficulties. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fine.
so that's the whole framework. So let me recap it fast.
Do it.
Number 1, name the decision specifically. Number 2, set a 2-minute timer. Number 3, ask 3 questions. What's the simplest step I can take? The simplest.
Bless.
Will it matter in 7 days? And what feels energizing to me? Number 4, give yourself permission to move forward, even imperfectly. And number 5, gentle reframe. When doubt returns, remember, you say to yourself, what do you say?
We say, I'm not making a perfect choice. I'm building momentum. I wrote
Yes,
that down in my notebook.
that's awesome. That's it.
The best part for me was the fact that you said it's better than being frozen. And then you were frozen. I took a picture of it because you had a great, it was actually, you looked like so genuine and happy in that moment. And it's like, that's Ross. Like, that's,
Never how it happens.
I know. Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. So I was just telling everyone right before you hopped back on that as a quick recap, we talked about this is a struggle for so many of us so that our listeners, our audience right now, they're not alone. And Ross and I both shared examples of how we're struggling with this, even this week, even this day, even this webinar. So, like, you
Yeah.
can't get more real than that. We talked about the science and why our brains are just made differently and how that's a something that we can be frustrated, but we also just have to accept it. Like, hey, this is what it is. And then dealing with that. Now I'm going to pause my recap because Paul asked a good question. What about when a non-perfect choice or fumbling towards the solution is not accepted by others? Well,
That's a really great question. Paul asked that.
Paul asked that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. All right. And first off, what are your thoughts before I
Yeah.
answer?
My thoughts are a great, like, typical answer here. It depends. It depends on the situation, just because, just being honest, because if it's for work, like maybe that's not okay. If it's at home, maybe it is okay, or maybe it's with a friend or kids or whatever. But I would say I would personally, I would much rather ask for forgiveness than permission. That's just my
Yes.
what about you?
Yeah, yeah. It's a great example, Paul, is here at RMC. One of the things that I actually brought and introduced to RMC was Slack. RMC wasn't using Slack. I arrived. I'm like, we should really use Slack. So we use Slack now. It's great. But guess what? Me, the torchbearer that brought it, I sometimes don't respond in a timely fashion to my team. And it's very annoying because I mean, again, I don't know what your example is, but just think of it from that lens right there. Would you rather someone take action of some kind, give you some kind of response, right? Or nothing? Are they dead? Am I dead to them? Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
So I
that's a
would
good
just tell
call.
you from career flops I've made before I became a coach. I worked at Apple for 15 years and I went through some serious ups and some major downs. And during my downs, one of the things that was really pissing off the people I worked with was not taking action.
Okay, speaking of taking action, I'm going to pause you because we're at 29 and I want to tell everyone that I'm so grateful that they came today. We covered some neuroscience, we covered some examples, we overcame some technical challenges, and really what it comes down to is we want to let you know you're not alone, and we'd love to have you be part of the RMC digital community and book a call with us because you can
Yeah.
see first off, Ross and I are a lot of fun to hang out with. We also have other coaches that are phenomenal. So we'd love to have you book a call with us. Any other next steps, Ross?
I would just say the biggest next step is getting out of your own way. And getting out of your own way usually involves asking for help sooner, more often, and getting the right people around you who can help you feel encouraged. So, like to Paul's point, right? Um, those like the people who don't appreciate your imperfect action, well, I would say those are probably not your A-listers
Yeah,
of the
right.
people that you want to be surrounding yourself with. And again, it depends. You,
Yeah.
you can't just cancel people from your life like our culture is so good at doing with all of us.
Like I'm about to do with Coach Ross because we have to finish the webinar.
But that's what I would say. That's what I would say is seriously like get out of your own way. And one of the key ways to do that is to ask for help sooner and more often and get people around you who actually can fan the flame
And
that is inside and wants to burn bright.
oh, what a great segue to one last couple of things I'll tell everyone. You can find us on Patreon, and right now we are running a ridiculous deal. Speaking of getting good people around you, you can do the body doubling that we offer for paid clients only, totally for free for the first 2 weeks of October. So if you're interested in that, let us know. We can get you the information. You can follow us on the social medias, but we want to give you some free materials, some free guides, and just let us know. You can maybe comment on the post that you saw or reply back to the text. Let us know what you want and if you're interested in
Yeah.
joining. Yeah.
Hi.
So I think that's it. And now I know I'm probably going to get a text saying, okay, that my bookkeeper's like, hey, are we still meeting? So I'm going to go. Ross, thanks for being here.
Bye, everybody.
And everyone else, thank you for being here. I hope that this was helpful for you. And we're going to be coming at you a couple times a month. So let us know what topics you might want to hear more about. But as always, just know that we believe in you and we're ready to support you. Talk soon.